All right, 6:36 here, KTRS. Kevin Jackson is our next guest. He is executive director of the Black Sphere. Kevin, thanks for joining us here on what is a very busy morning for you.
Oh, my pleasure, McGraw.
All right, so you live in St. Louis, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And tell people what the Black Sphere is, as you being the executive director.
Well, I'm a writer. I've written a couple of books, and most people know me by that. Political pundit, and really known more as a kind of putting humor into politics, if you can find it these days. It seems like these days we're not actually having too much fun, but we essentially speak against all of the craziness that goes on in the world, and I pride myself on being politically incorrect, where people are trying to cut off our First Amendment rights to be able to say what our eyes actually see.
You're headed to New York to be on all the national shows, and as a St. Louisan, you're in a unique position as an African-American, as somebody who is the nation will be hearing a lot about over the next couple of days. I wanted to get your thoughts on what you see happening in your hometown.
Well, I think it's an atrocity, to be honest with you. It's showing the nature of what happens when you let liberalism run rampant. You've got a situation that's a tragic situation with this kid being killed, and what's happening on the left is they want one side of the story out. There's one narrative that's being set that this kid is good, and don't even talk about it, don't discuss it. If you bring it up, you're against his family and things like this, and it's absolute nonsense. There are two sides to every story. Even a child knows that, and the left, the Sharptons and the Jacksons and that ilk don't want the other side out, and so we've got this orchestration, McGraw, that looks like something from the 1940s, when Democrats were oppressing black people and trying to, suppress evidence and sort of weighing things on one side. Look, I don't know what the outcome's going to be. And to be honest with you, I don't really care, because what I want is the truth. And if you're not allowing the truth to come out, well, shame on you. And that's essentially what we're seeing with these dog and pony shows, with these fools flying in and of course, acting nutty because the kid got killed. The kid got killed, so we have to loot, and St. Louis has to be put on not only the national stage, but the world stage as just a bunch of hooligans running around.
What do you make of the Antonio Frenches of the world, who isn't even their district, and some of the others who are actually out there sort of making sure they get plenty of FaceTime on the national news?
Well, you just nailed it. As I said, the cash register is ringing, and Pavlov's dogs are there to eat. And that's essentially what it is. Antonio French is a publicity seeker. Let me put it to you this way. Whatever's been plaguing that community over the past few decades, nothing's been done. They talk about diversity. We got diversity. Go to a Cardinals game or go to, a Rams game and tell me we don't have diversity in St. Louis. So if you want to tell me people can't get together and rally around something, I call BS. So what you have is Antonio French. These guys, whoever the state rep was that was down there with Don Lemon when I was interviewing at CNN a few days ago, she's like, we need more diversity. What do you need diversity? You've got a black president, a black head of DOJ. You've got black folks running around here, Lacey Clay, et cetera. And you want to tell me that's what the solution is? They talk about, we've got to get black pastors involved. Where have the black pastors been before all this happened? And by the way, with all those white cops that were over there, why isn't everybody dead in Ferguson or anywhere else? We have run-ins with the law every single day in this country, and the majority of them, you're happy that the cop is there. You get the occasional ticket or something like that, but generally speaking, when a cop shows up to help you, you're happy he's there.
Kevin Jackson, our guest in St. Louis, and he is the executive director of the blacksphere.net. Kevin, real quick before you have to go, because I know you're on the way to New York. Al Sharpton came to town. I don't think anyone's surprised by what he said, but I'm hearing a lot of people shocked that Captain Ron Johnson was there, and some of the things he said from the other podium last night.
Yeah, to be honest with you, both of them were an embarrassment. But and I don't know what you can take your pick over which one. But what Johnson said, essentially giving credit to the thug, the uniform of the thug, was ridiculous, and essentially he threw his boys in blue under the bus. Look, these guys have a tough enough job besides getting these race pimps and charlatans coming in and talking about all things black. I'm black, my black son, my black this. We're going to be with you the whole time. Are you going to be with them the whole time when the truth gets out? Because let me tell you something. What hasn't been considered is the other side of this story at all, not in any fair way at all. And again, I don't know what it's going to be. What I will tell you is when the truth gets out, I hope the supermarkets have a lot of crow.
Kevin Jackson, be safe. Thanks for checking in, and we'll talk to you down the road.
All right, McGraw.
You got it. 641, Big 5.